Welcome to the Exam Study Expert Podcast, helping you ace your exams at school and university through the psychology of high performance and the science of studying smarter, not harder. It's my pleasure to introduce your host, the Cambridge-trained memory psychologist and exam success coach, William Wadsworth.
Hi there, and welcome to a special bonus episode of the Exam Study Experts podcast. I should give a little note at the start of this. If this is the very first episode of the Exam Study podcast that you're ever listening to, maybe choose a different one for your first time. I always recommend episode 66 as being a really good place to start. Episode 66, the 6 pillars of student success. Today's episode is more aimed at long-time listeners that are interested in finding out a little bit more about the broader world of Exam Study Experts. Following the 100th episode anniversary last week, I wanted to take a few moments today to record a slightly different kind of episode, essentially summarising all the different ways Exam Study Expert is here and available to help you study smarter. There are quite a few different options now, and I wanted to record this as almost like a spotter's guide or a little safari through the different ways we are here to offer help, both our free and our premium options. Let's start with the freely available stuff, the blog and the podcast. So you know we have a podcast. It's impossible for you not to. And many of you will know that there's a blog as well. There's loads of content in both of those now. We have well over 100 articles and, exactly 100 episodes on the podcast as of now. And in fact, I think one of the challenges we now face is there's almost too much. It's almost overwhelming. So one thing we did a little while back that you might not have found your way to is grouping both the podcast episodes and the blog articles all together in resource hubs on the website organised by topic or theme. So there's one page on mindset with all the podcasts and blog articles that relate to mindset topics like motivation or focus. There's one page on study techniques, one on exam technique, and with all the resources, the podcast episodes and the blog articles that are relevant to that overarching theme, all neatly organised there. I'll put a link to those pages in the episode description for you. The idea is those just help you kind of navigate the growing volume of materials we have available now through the blog and the podcast. There's also the books. Now, I love our 2 little books. The first one, Outsmart Your Exams, aka the blue one, was pretty much the first thing I ever did in the world of Exam Study Expert. And it's all about exam technique, the stuff that's so rarely taught but can be incredibly powerful. You know, the tips and tricks you can use in exam week and actually in the exam hall itself to make sure you walk out of that room with every last point you deserve. Its sister book, Outsmart Your Studies, aka the orange one, was the inevitable prequel, I guess, and it's all about how to revise and review effectively in the run-up to the big day itself. Of all things, my absolute specialism, where I break down the most effective learning strategies you want to use when you're preparing for exams and give some really detailed guidance on how to get the most out of them. Those 2 books have well over 40 5-star reviews on Amazon now, which isn't too bad for a small-time, not especially famous author like me. And I promise that only a couple of those 5-star reviews very early on, came from friends and family. All the rest are from people all around the world who I've never met, including many podcast listeners. So I'll put links to both of those books in the episode description as well, if you're interested in checking those out. Now, despite all the effort we put into both the blog, the podcast, writing the books, there's long been a place for people wanting to go beyond the free or the low-cost resources and access some more direct, some more personalised support. Perhaps your time, for example, is limited and you need to cut straight to the most appropriate advice for you rather than wading through all the podcast or blog and trying to piece it all together and find the relevant tidbits that are most useful to you. Perhaps you need some support in applying the ideas to your specific circumstances. It's one thing, for example, to listen to my ideas on principles for an effective study routine, but everyone's circumstances are different, so having the opportunity to work through together the right plan, the right routine for you can be a really helpful thing. Or perhaps you want some direct feedback on whether you're using the study techniques that I suggest appropriately. Very often I find there are tweaks and improvements that I recommend to people's learning strategies when I actually see them in action, even if they're using the same strategies I teach. And often those tweaks and improvements can unlock really big gains in terms of how much progress you can make in your learning. Or perhaps you simply need to talk through some mindset challenges, or need a little reassurance, or simply moral support along the journey. So for many years now, we've been supporting listeners and readers in private one-on-one coaching to help them find and optimize the perfect study system for them, their routine, their approach to learning, their mindset, overcoming challenges like procrastination and focus, all that stuff. We've helped literally hundreds of clients to date, whether they're school and university students or professionals taking exams. And many of them have gone on to really excellent results in their exams, oftentimes beating what they were expecting, or perhaps how they'd performed recently or in the past. These days, my colleague, Dr. Alex Hibble, tends to specialise in supporting our younger school-age or teenage clients, while I tend to focus more on the older learners, the mature students or professionals, like medics or vets or finance people taking often fiendishly difficult professional qualifications as part of their career. The people in the middle, so at university stage, we tend to sort of fight over a little bit. Well, not really, but it could be one or the other of us. So Dr. Alex tends to be a better fit if you're a university student needing support with research or extended writing projects, whereas I would normally take on the university students facing sort of epic learning and memorization challenges, as is often found in science, medicine, or law. You can find tons of testimonials on the website from happy clients who found a better path to better exam results after working with us. We also do a lot of work beyond the one-on-one work directly for schools and universities, where we're brought in to teach group classes, sometimes for students, sometimes for teaching staff as well, on the science of effective study habits and learning strategies and how to put that into action. And we enjoy similarly great feedback from those sessions as well. Now, I've been noodling on that last point for a while. I know one-on-one coaching isn't necessarily what everyone looks for in terms of going further and deeper in support from us. And we are now phenomenally experienced teachers of group classes, thanks to our work with schools and universities, whether that's teaching live in the room, live as a webinar, or providing on-demand class materials. You can get a flavour of what our teaching is like via some of the podcast episodes we do, but it's nowhere near as good as the full Technicolor video lesson experience with our, trademark flashy charts and figures and graphics to really bring the material to life and make it sing, make it super clear, make it memorable, make it more impactful. Not to mention all the interactive exercises and games we throw in to illustrate key ideas and all give yourself a chance to put the ideas into action right there yourself. So for some time now, really over the last kind of 6 months or so, I've been getting more and more excited behind the scenes about an idea for a new way for people to be able to work with us. People listening to the podcast or reading the blog, a way for you guys to help you access not only our highest quality video-based teaching experience with all the charts and graphics and fun stuff, as well as a way to get personalised support and guidance from us without showing up to coaching sessions, because I know that's not necessarily the right fit for everybody. So today, I'm ready to take the wraps off that idea and just give you a little taste of what it's all about. The new program is going to be called the Study Smarter Network, and I see this very much as my second signature program, coaching being the other one. And both coaching and the Study Smarter Network are designed to offer the ultimate support for anyone studying for exams, helping you find the easiest possible path to your highest possible exam results. Coaching will suit people perhaps with a slightly higher budget and perhaps with hunger for kind of the most one-on-one direct contact, and you don't mind turning up to sort of 50-minute Zooms. The Study Smarter Network is more suitable for a sort of self-study program, but there is quite a bit of personalised support you can access through that as well. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So at its heart, the Study Smarter Network comprises three main elements. There are the live workshops, there's the on-demand video course library, and then there are office hours, where I'll be able to offer personalised support and guidance and help you out with any questions you've got. You can join the live workshops on Zoom, which we'll run from time to time to learn and connect and work through things live. Or you can watch the replays of that live content, as well as dedicated pre-recorded content on demand anytime, whenever you like, in the course library. And then for office hours, you'll be able to ask me questions anytime you like via text message or voice note through a special app. And I'll reply to all questions that have come in the past week during office hours, which will be on Wednesdays. And once a month, I will even include a live group Zoom. So if you want to turn up and have a bit of a chat as a group, bring along some questions perhaps, or just listen to the questions that other people have, come along to the monthly group Zoom Q&A calls. It's simple, really. Study Smarter Network members are going to get access to every single digital course that I have now and will ever make related to studying and exam taking. Come with me for a moment and I'll unbox what's inside and show you around. Let me start with the big 3 pillar courses, new courses that are going to form the heart, the core of the Study Smarter Network content library. Firstly, there is Total Memory Mastery, which will be the deepest, most complete course I've ever recorded on the psychology of memory and how to master ultra-effective learning techniques to allow you to memorize faster and for longer than ever before. As part of this, I'll be running a live Science of Memory masterclass, which you can either come along to for the live recording or catch up on via the replay. There will also be a series of on-demand only modules where I'll walk you through specific study techniques and how to master them. This will include some brand new lessons, material I've never taught before, which I'm grouping together in a little subsection of the Total Memory Mastery course, which I'm calling the Tech Vault. A series of little video walkthroughs on how to get the most out of the most popular online learning tools out there. So things like there'll be one of these on Quizlet, there'll be one of these on Anki, one of these on Brainscape, or if lots of you are using a different tool, I'll make a video on that as well. Because when I work with clients one-on-one, I see there are, often some quite platform-specific bits of feedback I have, and I've now got quite developed thoughts around, for example, how you get the most out of Quizlet, how you set up your Quizlet platform for maximum success. So Total Memory Mastery is actually going to be an exclusive course just for Study Smarter Network members. It won't be on sale outside of the network normally, but if I were to ever to make it available for sale, it would be priced at $273, sold separately. Secondly, you also get access to Productivity Power Up, a second course which is designed to help you unleash maximum productivity through use of science-based brain hacks and proven time management strategies to unlock full focus, master your schedule and to-do list, overcome procrastination, it's a big one for a lot of people, and even boost your energy levels. This is going to be delivered through a pair of live workshops, one which focuses on time management, routine design, and overcoming procrastination, and the other one focusing on maximizing your concentration and focus, as well as your energy levels. I will be selling Productivity Power Up as a standalone course. It will sell for $127 standalone, but Study Smarter Network members will enjoy complimentary tickets both to the live recordings as well as lifetime access to the replays and any other course materials. Thirdly, there is Outsmart Your Exams Live, based on the popular book of the same name, but turned into a live workshop format, where we're going to work through together the various planning and preparation exercises in the book, with plenty of chance to ask me questions, get my feedback and guidance throughout the process. There are 2 components to Outsmart Your Exams Live. There'll be the live workshop. And for this one, it's not just going to kind of be a one and done thing. My plan is to run Outsmart Your Exams Live, the live workshop, twice a year in the build up to the big exam seasons. So one in May every year, starting May this year, and one in January. So the first one happening in May this year. The replay of the most recent version of that live workshop will always be available in the course library, in addition to a series of bite-sized pre-recorded video lessons which take you through a range of other useful exam tips that aren't going to be covered in the live workshop. Outsmart Your Exams, taken together, has a very simple aim. It's to make sure you walk out of your exams having scored every single mark you are capable of. Cutting-edge memory recall techniques, the science of performing under pressure, deep insights into what the examiner wants and how to deliver it, it'll all be in there. Outsmart Your Exams Live is also going to be available separately for $127, but Study Smarter Network members will enjoy access to both the live workshop and the replay and the on-demand materials that will accompany the course, included at no extra cost as part of your membership. So those are my big plans for the first couple of months of the Study Smarter Network. And I'm starting with quite a rapid output of live workshops and new content, particularly with an eye on supporting anyone who is in the run-up to exams this season, so May, June, to make sure you've got the support you need to help you with this exam season. After those first couple of months are passed and I've kind of got the core content recorded and baked into the Study Smarter Network, I'll likely slow down slightly in terms of the pace of adding new stuff, though there will still be plenty of new things coming out, albeit at a slightly slower pace in the months to follow. One thing I have confirmed is a really exciting mindset course that I'm going to be running throughout September. That's going to be aimed at helping you find peace, purpose, freedom, flow, and, dare I say it, maybe even fun in your studies once more. That's going to be called The Scholar's Way, a 30-day mindset reboot. Study Smarter Network members even enjoy access to both of my existing mini-courses. That's the Study Strategy Walkthrough, where I break down my exact routine, my learning system, and my exam prep rituals that I used to get me a first-class degree from Cambridge. It's a really nice little mini-course that gives you, I think, a really clear example of how to put many of my best ideas into practice and shows you how it all hangs together as a complete system. That's joined by the replay of last week's Ace Your Exams Planning Party, which is now in the library as a series of 4 video modules and the accompanying digital workbook, which you can work through as you're watching the lessons. These are designed to achieve a range of goals, helping you deepen your purpose, clarify your routine, and really kind of evaluate your strengths and weaknesses of your overall study system, and finally coming up with a plan to help you level up. Gosh, guys, it's a lot of stuff. In total, I'm going to be including over $900 of digital courses in the Study Smarter Network. But it's not just about the courses, remember. You also get access to me on a weekly basis via the Office Hours scheme. So I'm going to be using a special Q&A app, which gives you essentially a private channel to chat with me via via sort of texts or voice notes. You can access it via your phone or your computer browser. Pop your questions over to me any time of the day or night, and then every Wednesday I'll sit down, go through the messages, and respond with the advice and feedback you need to help you move forward. So at most you'll be waiting 6 days for the personalised guidance you need if you message me on a Thursday ahead of the following Wednesday. As I say, you can send in questions using text or audio messages. I'll likely reply with a mixture. Sometimes I think my answers are going to feel a little bit like mini podcast episodes that I've recorded specially for you, answering your question. So it might feel a little bit like the podcast that you know and love, except that you can ask the podcast your most pressing questions, and it will reply to you with a totally personalised response on your exact situation. Once a month, Office Hours even goes live with a live group Zoom call. So, as I say, you can pop along with your own questions or simply just turn up and listen and learn to what others are asking. Those calls will be recorded and you can always catch up on demand if you can't make one live. So while I'm expecting the membership of the Study Smarter Network to be a little wider than my pool of private coaching clients, and based on early signups already, that certainly seems like it's going to be the case. But I'm still going to keep it small enough overall that I can get to know individuals. There'll be an intake questionnaire I'll ask you to fill in within the first week or so of joining to help me get to know you and what you're studying for, and any other helpful info that might be useful for me to have in mind about your circumstances. That will all help me inform any answers and support I give you throughout your time in the Study Smarter Network, in particular where you're asking me questions. But I'll also be looking out for common trends, common challenges in the sorts of things people are asking for, and perhaps that will lead to new course materials and live workshops to address those challenges. I think it's going to be an amazing program. I'm so excited to launch it. I'm so excited to share the details with you guys and start to get some of you in the program. If you'd like to check out full details, head to examstudyexpert.com/network. And if you're listening to this episode within the first week or two of it being broadcast, you should know that there is a very special founder member offer right now that you can take advantage of. See examstudyexpert.com/network for all the details. There's some really nice bonuses and a special introductory rate for you. Even beyond that, though, folks, the Studying Smarter Network isn't going to be going anywhere. And depending on how far in the future you're listening to this you might even find a few extra good juicy goodies have been added to the network since I recorded this episode. So always worth checking examstudyexperts.com/network for the latest offer and what it all includes. And if you have any questions about the new offer, the Study Smarter Network, you're interested in joining, you want to ask a little bit about it, you're always welcome to drop me an email. It's william@examstudyexpert.com. So if you are serious about your exam success this year, I would highly encourage you to check out examstudyexpert.com/network and make sure you get yourself the guidance, the strategies, and the personalized supports you need to ace your exams in the smartest possible way, the most time-efficient way possible this year. Hope to see many of you inside the network very soon. Thanks for listening today and wishing you every success in your studies.